He always walks around with a hat.
And we're going to Pokemon Trader versus Min Min here. We're going to start on PS2. You guessed it.
You should not take Min Min to
And he's going to hit the down tilt, not hit into up smash for whatever reason. And we're just going to be resetting back to neutral here.
So right off the bat, I'm assuming we're gonna see a lot of Squirtle, just this set, just cause off the top of my head, that seems to be the Pokemon that does the best against Min Min. Cause one thing that's really good is if you have like a,
You're gonna catch the jump there, and that's gonna be the stock, I believe.
Yeah. If you have a lasting Nair, with it's really good because they usually will all clank with Min Min's arms, so such as Kirby, Jigglypuff, and Squirtle, all the little boys, instead of multi-hits like Ivysaur. Just because Min Min's arms are coded, I think, at least for some of them, they're coded to be projectiles, which means that they should clank for the most part with aerials.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I know at least Ram, but regardless, even if the others aren't, they still do lose to clanking. So if you have moves you can throw out, if you have lasting moves like the Squirtle Nair, really good against Min Min. Another thing I'll say.
Charizard here at high percent, and he's gonna hit the Flare Bloods.
Don't take Min Min to PS2. That's all I'm gonna say.
So why don't you take Min Min to PS2?
I think I know most Min Min players will think also it is by far Min Min's just best stage. That platform is really good in terms of just helping Min Min wall people out. It's really good also in terms of how they're spaced, where Min Min can just really work around one platform, and if you close the gap, they'll just retreat to the other platform and work their way around that. Added to the fact it's the longest stage, and it's sometimes a little bit weird to edgeguard on the stage just because you can't see under the stage itself with how PS2 covers it. So Min Min's, and also
they're gonna take it there.
Tiny ceiling, which means you do have a somewhat more consistent way of killing.
And the Lasag's just gonna retreat and just play his game now. He's up an entire stock. He does not have to do any approaching with Min Min, which is not what you want as the opponent.
Yeah, and already we're seeing
a lot of work.
I'd like to see a little bit more of forcing your way in between the arms, maybe with Squirtle, instead of just using Squirtle's high jumps to go over, because
it just gets predictable after you do it the first few times.
Yeah, and Lasag against
that was too low there, and SD
brought it
this is back to a close game.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Lasag against like lower level Min Mins, I feel like it's a really good idea to just be jumping over the arms because it's hard to cover, but Lasag is really good at resource managing, and so he's always ready to punish that with Ram.
Let's see how DistinctMadness can get back onto the stage here. Flare was the other side.
He's not.
And now he's off the stage again on the other side.
Yeah. Min Min, it's so funny watching Min Min
good up airs there by
dominate in advantage, and then just her disadvantage is
beautiful up B by Lasag there, not going to take it. Good flare blitz by Madness to get back onto the stage. Let's see how he can get off the edge here.
Lasag is so good at keeping one arm ready always.
Tried for the flare blitz. Not going to die for it. 165 on the ledge. Let's see how he gets off here. And he's going to be up thrown and killed at 165.
Yeah, that's already just a really hard DI check because it's borderline unreactable, that grab up throw. If you buffer it, and then PS2, it's just so quicker.
And I'm thinking the bans are probably Smashville. I don't think Min Min wants to go to Smashville.
Not in this matchup.
Yeah, not versus PT. And then maybe he doesn't want to go small Battlefield either. And they are going to go Smashville.
Yeah, if I had to guess, Battlefield was probably a ban.
Okay.
And then besides that, I'm honestly not quite sure. Little thing about... So at some point, the commentators are gonna be leaving for the redemption bracket.
Do we have to go sign up for that?
Yeah, in a second. I would say also, notable thing about Lasag though, Lasag is the laziest person when it comes to counterpicking or banning. So Lasag, even though he had to, I think he opted out of the Mason's crew battle team, but he was there, and he was in. Okay, can you let them know that I'm gonna?
Yeah, I will
do it
let them
also?
know. I'm gonna hop off,
just
go
let
sign
them-
up for the redemption bracket. And I will let them know that O2 is also.
But they were going over like good counterpicking things, and they asked Lasag to ban. He banned stages, and they asked him why he banned the stages, and he goes, what did I ban? Oh, and I forgot to update the overlay. Not too bad, so I guess for anybody watching, Lasag is up a game. Even though I think this is probably one of the better stages that Distinct Madness could have picked, it's still really good for Minmin. Minmin doesn't really have a lot of stages she struggles in. She probably just banned Battlefield, and besides that, it's a toss-up. Sometimes per matchup. Finally going to be taking a stock with the runoff. That's just a really good thing you can do on this stage with any character that has a really good runoff fair. But even still, it's just, great read, unable to capitalize on it, but great read on the just panic air dodge. Maybe we're going to see an edge guard. I'm not, yeah. Alright, so you haven't really missed much. It's been a little bit one-sided. Unfortunately, Lasag is. I was gonna say, at the end of the day, even though I think Smashville was probably one of the best stage picks that Distinct Madness could do, it's not a bad minion stage.
No, it's not. I do think it's better for PT, but
Yeah, and the matchup's not terrible, PT Minmin. I know a lot of PTs really dislike it. However, I don't know, we have like a rave or something going on above our heads.
I think it's a pretty close to even matchup, personally.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think Squirtle
And that's
does
gonna
really
be it
well,
there.
and then just like in advantage the rest. However, it seemed like a little bit of